Alright, so I just pushed the button and messed up the last video. So it's November 29th, 2018 at 11:57 p.m. and I'm making another video blog tonight because uh, I keep wanting to say what I want to, there's a lot of stuff I still want to talk about, and I want to go into specifics about some of the stuff I already started talking about. And every day there's always something new, like things are keep going, and like the fire. I kind of talked a little bit about the campfire that just happened, and I've been working at Goodwill, um, and so I've been talking to a lot of people about that are from that area, and it's been pretty tough or pretty rough for some of these folks and people I know and whatnot. And then there's a flood today, right? I guess I don't know if there's really a flood. I don't know how much of a flood it is. But it's over now, but there was a flood warning and all this stuff. So I don't know. I mean, just the rain and the storm is pretty bad. So, um, so yeah, a lot of stuff's going on. Electricity was off, so I went out. I already talked about all that. So, um, this one was so there's a lot of stuff that I want to get into that's specifics. So this one I want to talk about more about not the supernatural stuff, but or not the term supernatural, but like stuff that's like for me is the most bizarre, and other people too. Like like I think other than some of the specific drama that I'm aware of, I think this other stuff is kind of pretty important, and some people are I can't even. It's tough to like. Some people are making stuff up, and some, and I think they're making stuff up to diminish the real stuff. That's 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 pretty crazy. Or maybe not, vice versa. Maybe I don't know. I'm not. I just need to speak on it because it's pretty crazy to me. Um, and I don't even know like what's really going on. So, but I know what I know, me personally, so I can explain some of the stuff that's real or stuff that's not. That's kind of iffy. People have a lot of points of view, and I'm really glad I get to make these videos. Oh yeah, so I'm not even sure if people are watching them. I'm not sure, like, because they don't have views, but people react to them. So I don't know if they think I want to get famous off of these videos or my drama, and that's not what's going on. What's going on is that I have to make these so that I can have my point of view, and I hope they get to the people, to the general public, because that's what I'm making it for. So YouTube or Facebook and all these people, I don't know what they really like, what they really think about what's going on with me, because I don't feel like a damn test subject. You know what I'm saying? Like, so being um, being being observed. So um, like a maze. I'm going through a maze, And the thing is, like, all these rock songs and all these people that I grew up on listening to their music, they have similar kind of issues as far as being controlled and stuff. So I don't know. I don't know if it's just normal or if these things are. And then I feel pretty. I think it's pretty abnormal. These are some of the things that are making it abnormal, I believe. But I don't know if artists in general are able to see things that normal people ain't. Giving doorways to places that we open. I don't know. Not see everything I say. If I feel is going to be taken out of context and turned into something else, but I want to say it so that people can understand where I'm coming from and what I see and what I believe and both and stuff. So some of the issues I kind of brought up before, as far as my dreams, right? So some of these dreams, like other artists and stuff, creators have used them, whether they believe that these happened or believe that there was some scene of the future that happened, which when as it turns out, like I believe, like I'm kind of like, whoa, that was weird that happened like that, so, because I had the dreams and I was the one that actually had these dreams. So whether people heard me talk about him and kind of, I don't know. Anyways, man, there's so much stuff. It's kind of tough to talk about each one, but let me just say this first: is anything that did happen that was strange and supernatural was when I say supernatural, I mean God stuff, like stuff from heaven or whatever, like God stuff. Um, if because I can't verify all the stuff that people were talking about or whatever, like people were anyway. So um, that um, my beliefs are that there is a God, whatever you want to call him. Like I've talked about it before. My beliefs of, uh, of religion and kind of that I've studied the Bible and been inquisitive about other people, other cultures' beliefs, but that I pray to God. And that's a whole nother thing, religion. Like I'm not going to talk about that yet. I do talk about it here and there, but like right now, I want to try to get specific about um, things. Okay, so the dreams. Let's start with the dreams. What I believe about dreams is that they are gateways to the unknown, whether it's your own subconscious or deja vu stuff, where they might actually be something that's beyond you, beyond our understanding of time and stuff. So, and I believe that only because it's happened to me since I was a kid. I've had dreams, and then the dreams come true. The reality is happening, and I'm like, whoa! I remember I had that dream. It was in a dream, and I was conscious, and I was thinking about that dream, and then I keep living life, and then boom, the dream. I'm in the dream, like it's happening, and so So to me, I know this is true. It's a true reality to me because I've seen it over and over. And I don't know if this is what people trip about when they reference the dreams that I had in their art, in their like in the um, Red Hot Chili Pepper "Can't Stop" video. Like that was a dream that I had that they're referencing, and they're referencing also real life stuff that was happening too. I guess unbeknownst to me, but later on revealed, and as I found out what was going on in my community and people I know around me and stuff. So that involved me. That happened to be about me. So I'm not trying to be vain about it. I'm not trying to be like, oh, this is just real stuff that I'm like watching this damn video. I'm like, okay, dude, like either they're making fun of me or they're making fun of the situation or something because I had that dream and they're like either I said it and because I've been telling people all this stuff for every time anybody asked me, so it wasn't a secret. And later I find out, that these people were asking specific questions, and it was being shared amongst people that that maybe didn't have my best intentions in mind or whatever. They were sharing it to find out to put it out there to the public without me knowing. But so these dreams, I'm like, and the video came out in 2000, supposedly made in 2004, 2 or something. I don't know, but 2009 it came out. I don't know. 2009 sounds about right because 2007 and 8, I had moved back to Chico after living with my girlfriend in San Francisco for a year. We moved back around that time, 2007, 2008, and then 2009 I was on my own in the art world in Chico and doing art shows and all stuff like that. So 2008 and 2009 I was already out there and being surrounded by people and doing shows. So that's kind of where I found out all this other drama. I didn't find out, but weird things started. People started. I can trace back like, oh, okay, this was happening, and then that's relevant to the overall story. And that's 2009. So the video came out around then. Like I was doing all the murals and stuff like this, and so when they referenced all my stuff, I was already working on it and all my old paint. Anyway, so it's kind of like, and then 2004, or I don't know when, 2004. I don't know when it was when I went to art school. I think it was around that time. And when I was with this girl, so a lot of stuff happened in those years too. So I'm tracing back some of that stuff to that time too. Like some weird things that happened during that time. People I ran into, people that came into my life, and people that were referencing those things. So that video fits with all these run-ins that I've had in my life during those years that would make that video relevant to what people were trying to find out about me at that time or whatever. So the video talks about this dream, man. It was hella weird, dude. Like, and this dreams, and this what I kept saying, and I referenced them during these years, and so when my son was in my son's mom's stomach, um, somehow we went to Oakland, right, to the hills in Oakland, with her older sister, her half sister, Selena, and her Selena's dad, Perry, and they had gotten like a caretaking of some doctor's home. Now that I think about it, that is kind of weird. I don't know what was that all about either, but it was some rich dude's home, and I was there. And when she got pregnant, it was kind of like we had broken up, and she was like, "Hey, I'm pregnant," and so we kind of made it work, try to make it work. So it wasn't like a planned pregnancy or we got married and all that stuff. So it was just kind of like two youngsters trying to, you know, find their way through what's going on. At least I was. I don't know, but I don't know what she was dealing with or whatever. But I was kind of like, oh, like, oh. So moving to the hills, I don't know, like how that was kind of like, oh, that's cool. Like I don't even know why I went, but I did. Maybe it was because it was Oakland. I don't know. It was like a house on. It was like a mountain house. Like I don't know, but during those couple months or few, I don't know how many months, month or two. The guy was an artist. It was like painting. Like I guess they sold a bunch of his like canvases. By the time I got there, they were. Now it was all about painting. Like I had been going to college and started painting, and so when I got there and Perry had showed me around and was selling all this dude stuff. And there was like all these like like rolled canvas and gesso canvas and brushes, and I was like, whoa, like oh my god, like that's what I need to paint all awesome stuff. But he was like, oh, I sold, and it's all sold, and I'm liquidating everything, and so I didn't really get any of that. I think I got a roll canvas, so like I don't know if I bought it or I don't know. I can't really remember. I know I wanted all that stuff, but I think he gave me like one piece or something. I don't know. Basically, it wasn't all those art materials. I felt like went to waste because I didn't get to use them. But it's like showing an awesome guitar to a musician and guitar player, and then but you can't play it or nothing. So, like Jimi Hendrix, awesome guitar, but not it, not getting to use it. So that's how I felt. Anyway. So, but I was still doing a lot of art. So during this time, I was reading the Bible a lot, which is weird, but I was not weird, but it was a specific time. It was like it was very like I wasn't working. I don't know what I was doing, but I was just like, working on my art and reading the Bible and hanging out with Sarah and her family, like people I don't know. So I created some pieces, but mostly like anyway. So these dreams happened all during this time, and there was three of them that was specific, but um, there was a couple other ones that weren't as relevant at the time. I guess maybe they will be. I don't know, but these three were like ones that were pretty powerful, and man, I really don't. I kept going through them. I don't know if I already did during these videos, but the one that the can't stop video one, and man, they keep like it's kind of ridiculous. Like when I think about it, like I don't know if people like really heard me talk about them and remade them and stuff. Like it's pretty weird that that the world would do this or that Hollywood would do this or whoever would care enough to like. use these for something. But let me go through this one first. So this one was a dream. I'm gonna draw these ones out next. This is actually, I realized like I gotta draw them out so people can see what I'm. So people don't get like think that their video or music or whatever is the definitive version of my dream. Because and these dreams, a lot of them were God stuff. You know, like are talking about some serious issues. So and how they have unfolded in real life is kind of crazy. So that's why I want to recreate them so that people can kind of see. Well, I'm tripped out about it too, you know. So, or help me decode why, who used it, and why they did what they did. So the first one that I'm gonna say is probably the least important, but ends up being important, and it's um okay. So I'm in this living room, and it's kind of like a white wall, like a good sized room, and like and it has a couch, like a three thing, like a three cushion couch, you know, not a small couch, not a big old couch, but like, and it's lighter toned, maybe like a gray or white or beige or I don't know, like yeah, not dirty, not broken, and not probably not new. It's not all thrashed. The place is not thrashed. It's a nice, not a super nice house, fancy or nothing, but it's just a normal living room thing. It's couch, right? Man, fucking crazy. Like I'm getting weirded out by this. Um, so um, my friend time Don Cheatham was on the couch, like passed out, which is kind of weird. Okay, so let me just talk about it without thinking about what's happened, but more about just the dream. So, and this is like, you know, like when I'm 20 or something. So I just started life, not like, so just to even have that dream was weird. We were friends during 8th grade and a couple of years here and there in high school, and then we went on an adventure to go to work in Montana and Alaska when I was 18, 19. And then, so we weren't like hanging out all through all those years. It was like here and there. But during those young years when in 8th grade and early high school, like I'd go hang out with them and watch music videos and play guitar. And so he was a good friend. And we were different, but you know, we hung out. And we were both poor. We were both freaking living in trailers and stuff. But he was a good-hearted person when I met him and stuff. I don't, you know, yeah. And he got to know my family. I got to know his family. So we were buddies. But he, you know, he did his own thing in his life. He had to deal with his family stuff. And I was dealing with my family stuff. So, and then high school was weird because I hadn't seen him, and then I had my other friend. I don't know if they got along, and it's just weird. But we didn't really hang out a lot in high school. But we ended up at the same continuation schools and stuff like that. So it was kind of funny. But so after high school, we ended up hanging out again, and and that's when we went and tried to work and went to hell, Alaska. That's been crazy. So I don't know if they made the Simpsons movie about him or what, like that Simpsons movie where they're going back to Alaska and all that stuff. I don't know what that was about, but now that I think about it, I'm like, oh, that's kind of weird. Like, did they put him through the ringer too? What the heck? So I don't know, because now when I think about it, he does remind me of Homer Simpson. Um, um, so the dream. Oh yeah, so after like I painted, I was painting at B College and stuff, and he knew Sarah, and my friends knew Sarah, so like my son's mom and stuff. So they were like, I don't know if they didn't like each other. I don't know. Remember at the time. He ended up being part of my life, like during those early years, and of having a kid with having he had a kid at the same time, all this stuff. So, but there before that, like when I was going to college, I was playing in bands, and he was part of our group of friends. He was playing drums for my other friends, and um, but me and him had like some issues here and there. Like I did some paintings, and he was like just took them out of my house before I even got there. I was like, what the heck? And so there was like some control issues there some issues that we had, whatever, as youngsters. And so I don't know. So this dream, why he was even in the dream was weird to begin with, or not weird, but it was, so the dude's on the couch, passed out, whatever. I don't know. And now that I think about it, it's the later version of himself. Like he had long hair and stuff. Like I don't know. I could be putting that in there, but I think that might be more of the version of him. Like he didn't have crazy long hair, but he had I don't know. Anyway, so I'm not gonna even go there because I don't know if I'm mixing it up, but he was there on the couch, like sitting down, going, and there was a fan, kind of like the fan that's in this room. The ceiling was higher, and it's fucked up because I'm looking at this job GPI, and like this is weird, man. Like they kind of people it pisses me off that people want to like use my dreams and try to make them in this their own little version, or if they're weirded out by it too. I don't know. I can't tell, but it seems more like they're making fun of it. So to me, it's real like because I dreamt them. I know. Anyway, so the fan's going, and I'm there with the Bible, and I'm like, and it's like this wind's pulling me up, like almost like when you go on a roller coaster, and you're like, whoa. It's like that anti-gravity thing, like whoa, and freaking these pages are like paper flying everywhere, like like not maybe not with the I don't know maybe with the fan I don't know it wasn't that the fan's going all crazy or nothing, it was just normal fan going, it was on but it wasn't like all full, but the fan was on and then there was like this paper flying around, and the thing was that I was like what it was I was trying to hold on to the Bible, to the word of God, while all this stuff was happening and like in a whirlwind, in the middle of a whirlwind, which now makes more sense. At the time, I was just like, wait, I don't know what that meant, but now it makes sense. Which is weird, right? This is why I'm explaining it to you guys, because dang, dude, this is now that I'm explaining it to you, it makes it more crazy to me. Because I'd never really thought about it until right now, like some of that meaning. okay, so this is happening. I'm dreaming. I'm in this dream, reading this book, and pages are flying, and I feel like I'm almost getting lifted, like trying to not fly away. I don't know what it was, but it wasn't the wind that was doing it. It was something else. And then I don't know if I was praying or what, but it was the Bible, and it was about the Word of God. The trying whatever was around me, I was trying to fight against whatever was trying to get me, and then I go into, and this is where the can't stop video gets pretty like blatant to me because I explained it like I'm gonna explain it, and it's like, oh, this is your version of it, and it kind of fits, kind of like in a weird way, like it does kind of fit, man. Like I don't know if I explained it that good or they just like got it right, you know. But it wasn't like their stuff, but it was them making fun of it, the director making fun of whatever I said. But it was pretty good. Anyway, so I'm like in this, I'm like getting thrown in like so that okay. So I'm like praying and then pages. Oh yeah, and my friend's there, and there's a bag of weed, dude, and it was like a big old black garbage bag of weed. It's not flying around or nothing, but it was just like right there next to him, like big old giant bag of weed. Which we smoked weed when we were young, so it was not like that wasn't part of our. It made sense when I dreamt it but it didn't make sense really why big old giant bag of weed. But later, like, through the drama, it makes sense. So, guy ended up being like he got busted for dealing weed before it was legal and all this stuff. But right at the cusp of it being legal, like all this legal stuff with weed, like he was one of the first. He ended up getting. I don't know if the feds helped him or whoever helped him get it. People that wanted it, or if he just did it himself. But he was going in that direction. Everyone, all the group of Orvillians and everybody were just kind of going in the same direction of wanting to sell weed. Like it's easy money, grow some weed. But he took it to another, and he was a go-getter at the time. So I guess he made some deals, some rich people here and there. Like this is stuff I saw on the news, so I didn't even know about it, all this stuff, till like at the time. The people that I did know here and there was they were growing or whatever, but it was just like a few plants that I knew about. I didn't even know about. I didn't even want to know about it. I was going to college and stuff like this, so I wasn't even involved with. But I knew these people, and they were going for it. They were like doing their thing. I wish I would have known about it when I was actually a youngster, so I got free weed. But so I don't. Anyway, so this is not. So these guys were Orville people were into it. People my age and stuff were, but it ended up being like so. The dude got married to this girl that we met in Montana, and I had a kid. He had a kid with his girl, and then well, before I even had a kid. Um, so we kind of buddies and then not buddies for a little bit. I forget why. He had some issues with his girl and stuff. Anyway, so he ended up being, having a store over in Orville. I was in Chico. I don't know where I was doing my own thing somewhere. I don't know. In my 20s, and he like I don't know what it's called, fertilizer store, like stuff you sell for growing for farmers, I guess. I don't know. So I wasn't really involved. My mom was around, so she was in Orville. So I like I've said, I've been trying to get out of Oroville forever. Um, so in my later 20s, like after I broke up with the girl and everything, went to art school and did all my stuff and fell in love and everything else, and I was in Chico doing my art stuff, and then all this other stuff like teaching at Butte. Like all these years passed doing all these murals, like like, and unbeknownst to me, like all the other drama happened. This was already like 2011, 2012, 13 even, and hanging out with Sarah, with Isaiah's mom, and find out dude got busted for weed, and this dude, his partner, went missing, and there was all this write up in the newspaper and stuff about it, and on the news. So I don't know now that I think about it if it was all made up or if it really happened, but they put him on blast on the news, and but now that I think about it, it could be all like, I don't know. They could have just got him, man. I don't know what happened, but in the dream, there was a big bag of weed there, right? And they're saying this guy killed people or whatever, or like the guy went missing, and they're wondering where he is. So I'm thinking maybe it's made up now. You know, that was kind of floating around lately because how much stuff has been made up. I'm like, dude, I wonder if they like used him to set me up, or they got him to they let him be like crime boss guy and like get all this money and all this. Because he was telling me, he told me himself, like he came up to me and was like, oh, the feds are on me and I have to go to jail and I have to get this lawyer in LA and famous lawyer and pay him all his money. He's like, want to buy my amp, trying to sell his cars, telling me his stuff. So I'm not like saying stuff that I'm acting like I know. It's just stuff that he was telling me. And he specifically was telling me like wanted to tell me, like, we hadn't hung out for a while, but we had a bad break, like bad an argument. So it's the thing where he's like, I threw out all your art and burned it or tore it up or whatever. So we weren't on good terms. And I had told him one time, or before that, we tried to make up, or his wife was like trying to delegate between us, and he said something like you owe me money or some like command towards me, and I was like, psh, fuck you, dude. So I just walked away. I had to like, I was driving with them, so I actually like left and just walked away, and fucking had to find my own way, ride home or whatever. But I was just like, so it was a bad. I had, you know, so we didn't have a good uh, moment the last time we had talked. So, um, well, we kind of talked here and there, but it was never the same. It was never like, hey, buddy, or nothing. It was kind of like this. Or, I saw him at a shop one time before when he first started, and some dude had to like ask some clerk guy or whatever. It was like at a warehouse. It was, I don't know. It was just weird, and I just wanted me to do a mural, and I looked at the place, and I was like, yeah, nah, I don't got time. So it wasn't that. It was just weird. Anyway, so the fact that there was a big bag of weed in there was kind of weird because I don't know, that ended up happening. So I don't know if somebody put him up to that or if they like he actually did it himself or I don't know what, but it ended up happening. I don't know what. That was weird. That's just weird in general. No matter if it was made up or what, as far as if somebody manipulated the situation to get him to that position, or if he actually just went that way himself and ended up earning that position himself and got busted for it. Because that's ended up being on the headlines on the news, So and that's the dream. Anyway, so so I'm dreaming, reading, trying to read the Bible. All these words are flying, papers are flying, and then so I'm like, and then I get sucked up into this dimensional tube, and I don't know if I don't know if it's tube or what it is, but it was. And then some people make jokes. It's a rainbow bridge in Thor. That's what it felt like. Like actually, like it did feel like getting in a tunnel, like a energy tunnel or whatever. And I'm not trying to make light of this or make fun of it or whatever. I never dreamt anything like it before. I never saw any movie thing like it. So I'm like, whoa, because I was feeling like, whoa, like moving upwards and kind of like feeling aerodynamics. And then I I wake. Then I'm like in space. I'm in space. Oh man, this is weird, dude. Like, funny that everybody referenced all this stuff, but I'm in space, floating. I don't have a suit or nothing. I'm not a spaceman like in a suit. I'm just me. And it's weird. I kind of did draw this later, but not on purpose. But I did uh, kind of draw some dude getting floated around. So anyway, so I'm floating, but this is different because I'm like seeing it, like I'm the one in the body, and I'm like whoa, and and then I see like a brown asteroid or a brown planet, like a red dirt, I guess Mars even, like something. Not it was not a planet. It was like an astro, like a small piece of rock, like a moon or something. I don't know. It wasn't even like a whole moon. It was just like it was roundish. I don't know. I can't quite remember, but it was like a chunk of earth or chunk of rock that was kind of like a planet or something. But it was like small enough for me to see the whole thing right in front of me. And when I landed on it, it was like probably the size of like a football field, I would say, but a round kind of thing. I don't know. It wasn't even round. It was like an asteroid, I guess, for lack of a better word term. And I forget exactly how, but I'm going down to the thing floating there, and I don't know how, but Sarah's there, right? And she's pregnant at the time, and we're in Oakland, so like that makes sense that she's there. But she ends up being in. I don't know why she's in the dream, but we don't talk or nothing. It's just like go, and then we look at this TV screen. There's a TV screen, TV, and a TV screen, and we're looking at the TV screen. I'm looking at it. So basically, she was there, but then I focused on the TV, and boom, like I'm actually watching TV for a little bit, and then what's in the TV was the city, and then I'm in the city. I'm in this, like I'm walking, I'm in the city, I'm looking, and but then somehow I get to see myself or see it, and Robert De Niro, right? I don't know what the fuck, dude. I don't know why. Sorry, Robert De Niro. Sorry, freaking dream. But that's what happened. So Robert De Niro's in the city. I wouldn't say he's like gray haired or nothing, but he wasn't young Robert De Niro. It was like middle Robert De Niro. So it wasn't like old guy or young guy. And then I woke up. That was the whole dream. That was that dream right there. And now I don't know how Robert De Niro is even important to everybody or why it's important, but it was Robert De Niro in my dream, and I said it, and I don't know how that fits in with everything, but you know, people wonder about the movies that he was in and what it means, how it fits in. So, Meet the Parents, Meet the Fockers, Running Bull or Raging Bull, um, Godfather. The one I just but the one I just watched on Netflix was Cape Fear, and that was pretty bad. Like people, I never saw that movie before, and I just watched it like a couple weeks ago, and I was like, wow, this is where people are going with it. And I got some tattoos on my back, and so I was like, oh, are they talking about that? So I don't know what the folklore went on with that, but I don't know. I mean, I'm not Robert De Niro. I'm not the guy in Cape Fear. I didn't go through all the stuff that guy went through in the movie. Nick Nolte, father of the Hulk, like in Ang Lee. So I don't know. People can go on and on. Like the guy played a million roles, dude. Like I don't know. Like I'd rather it be like one of the nice roles where he's a good guy and has a happy life. I don't even know if he played any of those movies. But anyway, so that's that. I'm still tripping on that one too. Not because of the dream, but because of uh, of how people, because of what people made movies about it, like or used it as reference in the movies. Because when I did watch the Will Smith movie, um, Pursuit of Happiness, that movie really, and now I think about it too, I'm like, man, like I was going to art school. I don't know, was it after art school? I think it might have been after art school that movie came out. So I don't know, but during the movie, like I did have Isaiah. I had that doll for Isaiah, that Captain America doll. I got one from I don't know where I got it from. Anyway, um, I was thinking I got it from, uh, but it was before that. Before I worked at uh, Animal World or whatever, Marine World, um, because he was younger still. So I don't think. No, it wasn't there. It was a couple years before. So I don't know. I guess I just had the doll, and that was the one I got from him. And in the movie they have one, and I was kind of like, come on, Isaiah, hurry up, Isaiah. Like every time I'd be busy in town, so when that happened in the movie, I was like, oh, like it hit close to home. And I don't know, man. I don't know what Hollywood does. I don't know what these other creators do. I don't know how much of my life has been looked at, and dissected, or if it's just coincidence. But for me, I love Captain America, man. I love Steve Rogers, the real one, not the movie guy. That guy's cool. Chris Evans is cool too, but like the actual character, I as much as people believe I'm racist and all this stuff or whatever they think, the fact that I see myself in that character should be enough for people to not trip out on me. And because if you don't like Captain America and his ideals, and you're a white American guy or woman or whatever, Republican, Democrat, whatever, and I'm talking about the 80s Captain America, 90s Captain America. I don't know what happened after the 90s, but the one comic books that I got and how they portrayed him in the Marvel universe, like he was a cool guy, man. He was like, he fought Wolverine and stuff like that. So he was kind of, they wrote him as like a like goody two shoes, want everybody to follow the rules and stuff. But he's always a tough leader, and like I'm not I'm not as disciplined as that character, of course not. But he was a good guy, He wasn't a racist. He wasn't all crazy. He was a good, upstanding guy, and I like that character a lot. He's unique in that way. He's a soldier. He's the main character always, but he's like I like the character. So and I like that he likes America. The fight for freedom and justice, and I believe in those things too. So it's not that if you're a good person, you believe in those things. And I mean, man, the character's good, and one day hopefully I'll get to ride him. But but yeah. So anyway, so I got Isaiah that toy. There was no weird thing about it. I know Chicano. I'm down. Grew up drawing the Mexican flag and everything. But I'm not like I'm not anti-American. People keep trying to put. This is why I guess I'm talking about it is because people always been trying to put me there. People try to put me as an anarchist or that pissed me off when people was actually trying to guess my political stance without asking me because they're projecting their image on of their fear of a Mexican American that's talented and has abilities that I have. They want to put me in a place where they're not sure they can put me at a place where they're okay with their beliefs, that they can feel superior to me and justify their fear of colored people, of me, being, of my ideals and whatever. You know what I mean? Like I can feel a certain way about political people, and be like, oh, these guys, but I don't really know unless I ask them. But I can say, well, I think Robert Niro is this, or I think, Justin Bieber is this kind of political person. He's an anarchist. That doesn't mean nothing because I don't know. So these people that had a couple conversations with me or got to know me here and there said this about me. Oh, I think you might be an anarchist. The hell, dude? Like, I believe in government. I believe strongly that there has to be leadership, and I believe people need this, and don't believe in no government. That's not what I believe in. So there's a lot of things that I feel misrepresented or misunderstood, especially when it comes to the political realm and all this stuff like this. So anyway, so that was a dream. I wish I could talk about the other ones. It's already an hour just for that one dream. So I'm gonna leave it there because it's time for me to crash out. And hope that explains a little bit about these dreams. And I'm gonna talk about the two more next. Um, and these other ones are more about God. And I'm sure you guys probably already heard them, but if I talk about them, it's more important. Actually, you know what? While I'm in the mood, I'm just gonna make another video because I'm I'm in the mood right now. This is like that just blew me away just to think about that one dream and what happened later in my life. Like, dude, like I don't know. I mean, in real life, like some of that stuff happened. You know, like I can't explain it. Like I don't know how that became part of my own little story folklore. Because at this job, they like actually have this GPI printing place, and they had these big. This year at the beginning, middle of the year, started working there, and they would put me in these places, and they would like, and how Don's story and how he ended up fitting in, because he knew about this, I guess, when I was in Cohasset, because he came talk to me when I was living with Sarah and Brian and stuff in Paradise in like 2013. I had rented one of their rooms or whatever, half their like living room, but ended up being like, you know, I guess they did it on purpose or whatever. Like I didn't know at the time, but I guess anyway. So uh, that's when I first talked to him after he got busted or all this stuff like this. And then a year or two later, I saw him one more time in Cohasset when I was living up there. He knew what was going on. He knew, because I remember calling him Don Cornholio, or no, I don't know what I called him. I was making fun of him because there was a weird vibe that we were getting. It was whole racial issues going on, you know. So there was, and it could have been the weed thing where he was talking about white people weed and Mexicans and stuff, and I don't know what he thought about me. So there was like this distrust going on, because he knew I was in a bad place, and I knew I was in a bad place at the time. I knew people were talking shit and trying to get me to trying to say that I was doing like I was a real bad person, and so I was really defensive, and he was going through issues, so I was like, what the fuck, like, so there was a lot of little words thrown around here and there. I was going through it. I was just trying to figure it out. All this other stuff was going on that I was working through as far as Native American stuff, and all this information I was getting from from what I was learning about and histories and like all this stuff. It was just I was going through a phase, and, or dealing with all this Mexican. I was not growing weed, so like, and everyone felt a lot of people were. I was surrounded by all these people, and felt in danger even. So his drama, I didn't feel comfortable about it, and I felt so. He said a few things here and there that made that I believe he knew some of the issues that I didn't know at the time or whatever. So I don't know. I mean, I don't know, but as much as I know, man. And so yeah, that was a dream. Okay, it's at 58 minutes. I don't know who's watching these, but if you're watching them, I hope this helps. It helps me because I really don't have to talk about it again until if anybody asks, I'll be like, dude, look at the video, and then we could talk. So that's how I feel about these. Listen to these first, and then talk to me. All right, later.